guys, it's Brushes and Bunnies here. I'll be starting with a new speed painting video very shortly, but before I get started, I'd like to go through some of the materials that I use, starting with the watercolor paper. Now this is Arches. Arches is a very wonderful brand. It's very old. It was founded in France in 1492. What drew me to this initially was actually the package of the paper. It's very beautiful. It caught my eye instantly and I gave it a try, and to be honest with you, I never went back. It's the only paper that I use. I specifically use the hot pressed satin, satin version, I guess you can call it. It keeps the color very, very bright. This is something that I really, really like. So I'll show you some examples. So this is made on Arches, and as you can see, the color remains very bright, very vivid, very rich, and it definitely pops out. There's just something that I need to warn you guys, that if you use this paper, the watercolor dries very fast. So it's not like the rough textured one where you can you have room to play with the water and play with the color before it dries. This paper, you really need to work fast. And I mean, for myself, this is something that I enjoy because then I I work faster and I can get more things accomplished, and yeah, I can definitely recommend this one for you. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you guys is my paintbrushes. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I haven't really experimented with many paintbrushes yet. I've pretty much only been using the Vinci brand. I'm very happy with Vinci so far, which is partially why I haven't felt the need to experiment with any more kinds of paintbrush brands. So I only have these three. I have quite a large one. This is for the larger paintings that I do. Basically, I use it for mostly background color, to fill in a whole color texture. If it's hair, then you can just use this one and quickly fill in all the color before the paint dries. These two are the ones I use for finer details, and these are the ones that I use for the smaller papers. So I have a very small one for the detail, and I have more of a medium-sized one. And these are the ones that I use the most, basically. The next thing that I use, let's go with the paints. So here's my little paint thing here. I do use two brands. My favorite is Schmincke. It's a German brand. It's quite old, from 1881. It has a large variety of colors. I think about 110 colors, which is really, really great. What I like most about Schmincke is that you can really accomplish a deep richness with their colors. As you can see here, they're already quite vibrant. Here's a little gold, but they're already quite vibrant, and you really don't need much to accomplish the brightness you need or the depth that you want, which is something that I really enjoy. I've also been trying Winsor and Newton. So these are the bigger ones here, as you can see. These ones are more expensive than Schmincke, and I think it's one of the most expensive brands you can buy. Correct me if I'm wrong, but so far this is what I've been seeing. I also like Winsor and Newton. However, I've been feeling that their color is very pale in contrast to Schmincke. You need to add more layers to accomplish a deeper richness. And some of the colors, as like this pink one right here, is sort of grainy in a way. I can't really explain it. But yeah, just because of this fact, I prefer Schmincke so far. Okay, so the next thing that I use is Faber Castell pencil crayons. This is something that I use quite a bit, of course to accomplish some of the shadows that I have in many of the paintings, but also for the fine details such as the fur on any sort of pet or animal and the hair. You could actually accomplish a deeper richness compared to watercolor with this, and you can really get to the fine detail, and this is something that I really, really like, and I would highly recommend. You can also get watercolor Faber-Castell. They do work well, however, just for my personal preference, I find that you can't get that much detail with them. You don't have much control as you do with just the regular pencil crayons. And I also have these pens. Now these pens are very useful for the detail. So the first one here is the acrylic water-based marker, I guess you can say. I use it. It's a fine. It's a bit thick. It's not that fine, but I use it quite a bit for the details on the flowers, for the details in the eyes, the hair, the fur. It stands out a lot when you layer it on top of watercolors compared to any sort of gel-based white line marker. I think that acrylic really does a wonderful job in conveying the detail that you want. The other thing that I use are FineLiners, so black FineLiners for the detail, either to do the line work of the art. So as you can see here, I use it a lot for the hair, for the flowers, just outlining the portrait in itself. It really helps to pop, to make your portrait stand out, to make any sort of detail stand out, or if you want to exaggerate some shadows, like I did in some of the flowers here. This is really nice. Or you can just use a simple black pencil crayon as well. Something else that I use is this Schmincke Aqua Shine. So this is basically just glitter. It's really, really nice. It creates a sort of pearl effect. I use this a lot for the flowers or for the jewelry on some of my vintage pieces. You don't need much. Basically, you just mix it in with the watercolor you have, and it creates a beautiful shine. Very, very cool. Very nice detail. And last but not least, these are pastels. So this is something new that I've been working with. It creates a very beautiful glow. I usually use them, or so far I've only been using them for skin. When I do black and white portraits, or if I do just a neutral skin tone, this adds a certain depth that cannot be accomplished with watercolors. So I just layer this on top of the watercolor work that I've done, and it really helps to create a depth and a glow, and it looks very soft and feminine and beautiful. As you can see here, I've added some of Castell, so here around her face, like the contours of her face. I thought at first maybe this, as it is pastel, maybe that it would rub off or get dirty or ruin the artwork, but actually it really doesn't have that much of an effect. It comes off just a little bit, but not enough to ruin the artwork or to make a mess, which is something that is kind of cool, kind of interesting. And that's about it. So I'll get started on the new speed painting now, and yeah, hope you guys like it. Thank you for watching.